Emma Ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome to the Hermit's Cave. It's not very often I'm here on a Monday at the start of the week, and I was going to schedule, although I could schedule this to go out later in the week, even though I'm filming now. I was going to wait, I should say, till later in the week to film this, but I'm itching to take a look at this deck. So, I Ching, my knowledge of the I Ching as a divination tool is zero. I've never studied it before. I was gifted some I Ching dice a couple of years ago, and that person knows who they are. It was given to me during the one of the tarot meetups, handmade, which was really nice. But it's not a tool that I've studied. And then our friend Chris from Elemental Cartomancy went on holiday and picked up this deck and showed it on his channel. And the way he explained it, and if I remember, I will link that video below, so do go and check it out. You know, a few little things started to drop into place, and I thought, actually, this is something that I think I would enjoy exploring. Not to mention, I just love the art style of this deck. Now, when I have gone onto YouTube videos to look up I Ching, my mind gets blown into a million little pieces. And the more I've delved into it, the more complicated and confusing it all seemed. But reading the back of this, you know, it can, like anything, it can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. It can just be the case of pulling a card, looking at the trigrams, I think, is it hexagrams when they're both together? See, I don't really recall, but I'm hoping to, and then look up the meanings in the book. But again, shout out to Chris, because he sent me a photograph. He had a cheat sheet he just did himself, and he sent me a photograph of it, and I've typed it out into this this table. So as you can see here, we've got the trigrams, of which there are 8. And, you know, the I Ching is about the forces of nature. Things like water and lake, you know, they are real forces of nature, mountains, thunder, etc. And so you have heaven, earth, water, fire, wind, thunder, mountain, and lake. And so when the triads appear together, you can quickly cross-reference them and get a jumping off point, a keyword, and then of course you can go to the book. So when I contemplated getting this deck, I said to Chris, oh, I'd have to do a cheat sheet like you did, and he very kindly took a photograph of it, sent it over to me, and I've been able to type it up into this table. Okay, so I'm going to take the cellophane off, and then we can have a read of the back of the box. So who is this by? Shelter Harbour Press. So I'm not aware of them. And I think, yes, Chris's version is like the tuck box. So he did say he'd be interested to see what this was like. So if you do watch this, Chris, thank you again for sharing this with me, because it's going to be great. I do love quick references a lot of the times. Okay, so it's a 2-part box, as you can see here. The lid comes off. It's not the sturdiest, it's not, but I mean, it's a sturdy box, but for the size, it's not, you know, like a wooden box or anything like that, but it serves a purpose. So it says I Ching. The I Ching is one of the world's oldest books. It forms an ancient Chinese book of changes, which gives the user an insight into the forces, literally the changes, that are occurring at any particular moment in time. It is an oracle that consists of 64 hexagrams. So yeah, the hexagrams are when you have the two trigrams on top of each other. So, you know, for example, you could have something like mountain over thunder, and then that will give you a keyword and you can look it up in the book. So where was I? Sorry. It's an oracle that consists of 64 hexagrams made up of 6 lines. And in this edition, the hexagrams are presented as cards. If you wish to consult it, you merely focus on a question after choosing a hexagram by randomly selecting a card, then look up its meaning to gain insight into your personal dilemma. Easy, right? And that's the surface level. That's as easy as, you know, you can make it. Included within to help guide you is a detailed book and the 64 oracle cards, each with beautifully inked drawings by Klaus Holitzka in traditional Chinese colours and style. People from all around the world continue to draw inspiration from the I Ching as they have done for several millennia. The I Ching is a traditional oracle of Chinese wisdom. Okay, so firstly, the box is beautiful. This gold embossing on the front is really lovely under the light. So yeah, really nice presentation. Then we have the book. So as you can see here, there's quite a lot of information in the book. How many? Oh wow, it comes in a little velvet pouch as well, and then you see the cards sitting there. You can take this out if you want. It's not stuck down or anything like that, which I'll probably do. I'll probably take it out and just put the book and the, that's nice, having a little touches like that I like. So let's remove the box and let's have a look at the book. So this is, how many pages have we got? 159. So as again, you can see here, if we're pulling this card, so looking at this cheat sheet, this little crib sheet that we've got here, we have, if you look at the first 3 lines, that is lake, okay? And then the 3 solid lines is heaven. So we would look at lake as the top over heaven. And it's, as you can see, lake over heaven is 43. Typo, good job I've saved it. Decisive action. And you can see it is number 43, lake over heaven. So then it gives you the opposing forces lose strength. So you've got your right up there, and then you've got each of the lines, okay? Your base line, your second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, and what that refers to as well. So that's handy. We'll just randomly select another. So we have 16 here. So this one, if we're looking at the first 3 lines here, is thunder over earth. Okay, thunder over earth. So if we look at thunder and then earth, that's enthusiasm, and it's 16. You can see here, 16, the enthusiasm. Okay, and then you can read about it in each of the lines. So this is going to be a great guidebook. There's lots of information in here as well. Hoping it's got the history and a little bit about the Tao. So what have we got? The Book of Changes, Wisdom, Teaching, and the Oracle. Personal advice, the I Ching and its, I keep saying I Ching, the I Ching and its place in the world, the I Ching as an oracle, Tao and water, yin and yang, oh, I love yin and yang, the common denominator of turtles, yarrow stalks, coins, cards, and the I Ching, what you should know before you ask the oracle, an interpretation of hexagrams and lines, a brief introduction to using the I Ching, and the 64 cards. But look at this artwork. Look how gorgeous it is. Oh, do you know, Sunday, I'm going to sit and I'm going to read through this book. This is fab. Really nice quality as well. The paper is gorgeous. The printing, really lovely. So this is how we break down the lines. Okay, and then we go into the cards, which I've shown you. So nice little book to study, and again, you know, I've got the cross-reference here. So let's take a look at the cards. They are tarot sized, nice backs. Let's see if I can cut into that on the join there. There we go. All right. So yeah, just to compare with a standard tarot, exactly the same. So they are a tarot sized deck, even though it's an oracle, but that's great if you've got like a double pouch, like I have some Kelly Bear double pouches. It's nice to perhaps carry this with a tarot one side, an I Ching another, even though it does come with its own little pouch. I like this little emblem here, which we're used to seeing, but it has actually got the numbers in there, so you can see 33 here, and then you've got, you know, so if I'm looking here, that's heaven over mountain, is that right? Yeah, 33, which is retire. Okay, so I'm going to pull the camera down and we'll have a look at each of these, and I will just give you the keywords associated with them. Okay, so our first one, which is card 1, is heaven over heaven, creative power. Oh, I never showed the backs either. These are the backs, which are really nice. And then we have the 2 broken lines over the 2 broken lines, which is earth over earth, and that's supportive power. And then here, takes me a moment to find it. So for this one, we have water over thunder. So water over thunder, 3 is initial challenge. Here we have mountain over water. So mountain over water is inexperience. And that's quite interesting, inexperience, because this has got very much a kind of a fool vibe to it, doesn't it? And here we've got that kind of water below, this kind of precipice. So we have inexperience. I like how that's depicted. This image is absolutely beautiful. And this is water over heaven. So water over heaven is patience. Here we have heaven over water, which is entitlement. And then we have earth over water, which is discipline. You can really get a sense of that discipline as well, can't you? You know, this kind of marching army in step, in rhythm, takes discipline. So here we have water over earth, alliances. Another beautiful, beautiful card. So this is wind, and that is over heaven, and it's soft power. I think Chris said as well, when he put his sheet together, I think it's only fair to reference that, that he also took inspiration from Benabel Wen's Spirit Keepers Tarot. Okay, so card 10 we have here, which is heaven over lake, and it's growth, caution. Okay, here we have earth over heaven, which is harmony. And the more you get used to the symbols, because I know that 3 straight line is heaven, and I know that 3 broken lines is earth, heaven and earth. And then the mountain, you know, a straight line, and 2, it has like the structure of a mountain. So this is how my brain makes order out of chaos. But the more you're looking, the quicker you find them. And I don't think it's going to take long to actually know that this is heaven and this is earth. So heaven over earth is stalemate. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, so that is heaven over fire, which is fellowship. Look at that, it's beautiful. And then we have fire over heaven, which is possessing, great possessing. Oh, we have this scarecrow here. So we have earth over mountain, and that is humility. And then here we have thunder over earth, which is enthusiasm. And here we have thunder over, oh no, sorry, not thunder. You know, I was saying, oh, you soon get used to it. It's lake over thunder, and that's inspiring others. Not to confuse anybody with these broken bits as well. So we have mountain. This is card 18, isn't it? That's mountain over wind, and it's decay. I like that, how it's illustrating decay here. I guess, you know, there would be some that would say, well, why can't we put a little keyword on the card? But the idea is to really work with the book as well until you've got an understanding of the hexagrams. Let's have a sup of coffee. Okay, so here we have earth over lake, and that's spring is coming. It really is. It's been sunny today, very cold, but for the last day of January it's been quite sunny, and it reminded me that spring was coming as well. Okay, so we have wind over, oh no, not over thunder, wind over earth, which is contemplate. And then here we have the opposite way around, fire over thunder, and that's a gnawing bite. Oh, that one is mountain, and I can tell that that one's mountain. Over line dash line, fire. Mountain over fire is beauty, and grace. Okay, here we have mountain over earth, which is a division, splitting and division. I really like the way that these ink kind of drawings really, you know, help to illustrate what's going on really. Okay, so here we have earth over thunder, and that's a turning point. See what I mean? Turning point. I like this. So this is heaven over thunder, which is pure intentions. And here we have mountain over heaven, 3 lines, controlled power. We have mountain over thunder, which is to receive nutrition. And then here we have lake over, I've lost my place, lake over wind, which is great exceeding, well, I guess to exceed greatly. This is an interesting one. So here we have water over water. You can see that they're both the same. So water over water is pitfalls and perils. Pitfalls and perils, love it. Okay, so here we have fire over fire, which is emotional cling. And then here we have lake over mountain, which is social influence. And then we have thunder over, where are we? Thunder over wind, which is perseverance. Okay, so here we have heaven over mountain, which is retire. And then we have thunder over heaven, which is great power. Great power, wielding those scales here and the broken sword, look at that. Oh, look how beautiful this one is. This is fire over earth, which is progress. Fire over earth. So gorgeous, I'm loving this. There's something very evocative about this deck. So we have earth over fire, which is the darkened light. Having them in card form and these illustrations, just, yeah, it's my way in, I think, to studying more about the I Ching. I think it's probably the only way in, if I'm honest. Okay, so we have wind over fire, which is family. And then here we have, where are we? The opposite way around. Fire over, where are we? Fire over lake. polarizing. I've got to get my fire and lakes, I think, down. I'm fine with my heaven and earth and my mountains. Okay, so here we have water over mountain. Water over mountain, which is difficulty. Look at that long journey. So here we have thunder over water, which is redemption. Cardstock is really nice as well. It's a really decent cardstock. Here we have mountain over lake, which is diminished. And then we have wind over thunder, which is on the ascent. Oh, it's beautiful. This deck is even nicer in real life, holding it in your hands. Okay, so then we have lake over heaven, which is decisive action. And then we have heaven over mountain. No, we don't, sorry. Ignore me. Heaven over wind, which is meeting. Meeting. Oh wow, look at this. So this is lake over earth, and this is a gathering. Okay, and then we have earth over wind, and that's to hoist up. And then we have lake over water. Lake over water is depression. Oh, we've got this well here, look. So this one is water over wind. And it's return to origins. And then card 49 is lake over fire, and that is revolution. We have fire over wind, and that is alchemy. Here we have thunder over thunder, and that's a sharp turn. We have mountain over mountain, and that's a quiet heart. Oh, this deck, I love it. Really, really love it. So we have wind over mountain, and that's slow and steady. And then we have here thunder over lake, moderation and compromise. There's a decent amount. Well, I mean, obviously we've got to have the 64, haven't we? But so here we have thunder over fire, which is abundance. This is gorgeous. This is the one off the box. Yes, this is the one off the cover of the box. So for this one, we have fire over mountain, which is the wanderer. You really get a sense of that as well, don't you? So here we have wind, and that's over wind. Wind over wind, and that's a gentle force. Okay, so for this one we have lake over lake, and that's a joyous exchange. I'm gonna have to test myself. I'm gonna have to put these trigrams and just keep looking at them and seeing if I can, you know, because I think I've got half of them mastered in my head, at least 4 out of 8. But anyway, we have wind over water, which is to disperse. And then here we have water over lake, which is limitation. Okay, and then for this one, we have wind over lake, which is inner truth. You can see them looking in the mirror there. Inner truth. I wonder if this one's about balance. 62. We have thunder over it's mountain, isn't it? Yeah. Focus on details. Okay, I get that. Focus on details. You have to really focus if you're walking a tightrope like this. This is different design. Oh, the next few are quite different designs. It reminds me of the first one in the set. Less illustration, more just on the hexagrams. So for this one, we've got water. It's very different as well because I'm expecting to see a longer line. So we have water over fire, and that's after completion. And then for this one, we have got the longer lines now. We've got fire over water, which is before completion. Okay. After completion and before completion. That's interesting, isn't it? And then we have some blank cards. Not quite sure what they're for, but that's interesting. Got some blank cards there. So yeah, take the blank cards out. I'm just going to give this a bit of a shuffle because I want to kind of show you what you would get in the book as well, because we've not referred to the book much yet. Okay, so I've popped this card there, and we have a thunder over earth, which is enthusiasm. So that's card 16. Let's just move this candle out of the way. So card 16. And you can see here that we have the enthusiasm, the harmonic accord. Everything that happens in the universe follows the path of least resistance and a natural order. In harmonic accord with the forces that surround you, you will always find the easiest path and adapt to different circumstances. Try to connect with your authentic nature and listen to the voice within. If you are full of joy and serene, this shows that your spirit and your behaviour are in harmony with all cosmic events. In interpersonal relationships, certain rules also apply to which you must adhere. These rules are the prerequisite for loyalty and cohesion. New ideas can only be implemented successfully when people have a strong desire for them. This is always the case when the goals are in keeping with the needs of the people and there is a climate of cooperation and trust. This is a profitable situation for all. On an individual level, the harmony of mind, body, and spirit guarantees optimal growth on all levels. No change. Follow the path of least resistance and open up harmony and accord. Your inner voice will guide the way. And then you can break it down to the different lines as well. Getting the bass line working all the way up to the 6th line. So the bass line here is saying you are closely connected to an important person and you are proud of it. However, when you are only motivated by some personal advantage, you will soon sink. So I really like this book. I like this book. It gives you that further insight, and it's handy having this cheat sheet as well, just for that keyword and jumping off part. So thank you again to Chris for showing this deck and piquing my interest and for sending over the sheet. Yeah, and let me know your thoughts. Do you work with the I Ching? How do you get on with it? What method do you use? The coins, or like I had some dice? Let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.